Billionaire woman discovers her lost daughter works as a waitress through a necklace. If you enjoy the stories, please subscribe. It will immensely help the channel. Isabella looked at the necklace in her hands, the sparkle of the gemstones reflecting the soft light of the charity gala. With a racing heart, she couldn't believe that this object had belonged to Sophia, her daughter, who had disappeared years ago. The necklace seemed to pulse with mystery, and in an almost instinctive impulse, she decided she needed to discover more. After the gala, Isabella retreated to her office, where the light from the computer illuminated the space in a cold glow. With the necklace carefully placed on the table, she began researching the small device she had noticed on its inner part. Using her skills as a businesswoman, she contacted technology experts who quickly deciphered the signal being emitted. To her surprise, the tracking led her to a diner in a distant suburb, far from the luxury she was accustomed to. The next day, Isabella dressed simply, trying to blend into the environment. Upon entering the diner, the aroma of fresh coffee and frying food mingled with the sound of laughter and animated conversations. The young waitress, with tousled brown hair and a radiant smile, moved between tables with a grace that captured everyone's attention. Isabella felt a tightness in her chest upon realizing that this could be Sophia, but the doubt remained. How could such a vibrant young woman be connected to such a painful past? Isabella ordered a coffee and watched the waitress from afar. Every movement, every interaction with the customers seemed to tell a story she longed to understand. When the young woman approached to deliver her order, their eyes met. It was a brief but intense moment. Sophia, unknowingly, was about to discover who she truly was. Courage took over Isabella. "Excuse me, is your name Sophia?" The young woman stared at her, surprised. "No, my name is Anna. Why do you ask?" The woman smiled nervously, but the connection was undeniable. There was something in Anna's eyes that echoed the essence of her daughter, a spark that Isabella recognized. With her heart racing, Isabella decided to introduce herself. "My name is Isabella. I have something that belonged to someone, very special to me. Would you like to see it?" She took the necklace out of her bag and held it in front of Anna, who looked at the object with a mix of awe and curiosity. Anna examined the necklace, her eyes widening as she recognized the details. "This necklace, it's very beautiful. Where did you find it?" Isabella felt a thread of hope ignite within her. "It was a gift I received, but I feel it has a connection to you." The young woman hesitated for a moment before responding. "I don't know, I don't have any memory of something like this, but it's beautiful." Isabella decided she couldn't stay still. "Can you tell me about your life? How did you get here?" Anna, still intrigued, began to recount her story, her struggles, and the reasons that led her to work at the diner. Isabella listened attentively, each word seeming to connect to a fragment of her past. She thought about how life could be cruel and, at the same time, full of surprises. Could it be that Anna was her daughter? As the conversation flowed, Isabella realized that the necklace was not just a valuable object, but a symbol of the search for answers and reconnection. The two women continued to talk, and the bond between them grew stronger by the moment. Isabella felt maternal love starting to fill the gaps that the loss had left behind. As the days passed, Isabella and Anna met frequently, creating ties that seemed to transcend time. Isabella began to dream of revealing the truth to Anna, but feared the young woman's reaction. How would she cope with the idea of having a billionaire mother and the story of a lost childhood? One night, while walking under the stars, Isabella took a deep breath, sensing the moment had come. "Anna, there's something I need to tell you." The young woman stopped and looked into Isabella's eyes, her expression turning serious. "What is it? You seem nervous." I have a very special reason for getting close to you. I believe you are my daughter, Sophia." The silence weighed heavily in the air. Anna looked stunned, her eyes filling with doubts and confusion. "But that doesn't make sense. I'm not Sophia. My name is Anna." Isabella felt a tightness in her heart at seeing the pain and disbelief on the young woman's face. "I know it's hard, but there is evidence. The necklace, the memories you don't know about. This could all be connected. I just want you to know that I'm here willing to help you discover the truth. Anna hesitated, but the sincerity in Isabella's eyes hit her like lightning. What if it's true? What if I really am Sophia? Fear and hope mixed in her gaze. Isabella extended her hand, offering a path toward reconciliation. Let's find out together. You're not alone. In that moment, under the moonlight, two souls united in a new beginning. The necklace, now a link between past and present, promised not only answers but a future where love and truth would have a chance to rewrite their stories. Isabella had always had everything she wished for, but life taught her that wealth is not synonymous with happiness. Looking at the necklace she had found in an antique shop, a birthday gift that had belonged to her mother, she couldn't help but remember the daughter she lost years ago. The necklace, with a pendant resembling a heart, had been a symbol of unconditional love, and now somehow it seemed to connect her to Sophia. Determined to change her destiny, Isabella decided to visit the diner that had been recommended by a friend. Upon entering, the smell of fried foods and fresh coffee enveloped her, but it was the intense gaze of a woman behind the counter that paralyzed her. Sophia. Isabella's heart raced. The young woman had grown, becoming a strong and independent woman, and her expression reflected a mix of determination and exhaustion. What Isabella didn't know was that Sophia's life had not been easy, and the diner was the last stop on a path full of challenges. Isabella approached the counter, trying to hide the emotion consuming her. "A water, please," she asked, her voice nearly failing. Sophia served her without looking into her eyes, focused on assisting customers. But when she finally lifted her gaze, a spark of recognition passed between the two, although neither of them knew exactly what it meant. "You don't seem to be from around here," Sophia commented, with a smile that revealed a mix of curiosity and distrust. "You're from out of town, aren't you?" "Yes, I'm from a big city. I'm here on business," Isabella replied, trying to keep her voice steady. The truth was her business had always been about forging new connections, but now her goal was much more personal. As the day progressed, Isabella watched Sophia in action, admiring her skill in handling customers and her natural interactions. The young woman moved gracefully, and the way she communicated with people revealed a confidence that Isabella never knew her daughter could have. There was something familiar in that manner, an echo of her childhood that Isabella couldn't ignore. "Have you been doing this for a long time?" Isabella asked, trying to make small talk. Sophia paused for a moment, evaluating the woman in front of her. "Yeah, since I left home, it's what I have, and I like it. Life hasn't given me many options, but I learned how to get by." The answer cut Isabella like a knife. She wanted to scream, to say that she was her mother, that she had always been there, even if from a distance. But the thought of revealing her identity terrified her. What would Sophia think, and what if she rejected her? The billionaire fought against the tears threatening to escape. The day turned into night, and the diner began to empty. Isabella knew it was time to leave, but she couldn't move. Instead, she decided to take a chance. "Sophia, you have something that I would like to show you." With a hesitant gesture, she took the necklace from around her neck and held it between her fingers. "This belonged to my mother. She always said that love is what binds us, even when we are apart." Sophia frowned, intrigued. "What does this have to do with me?" Isabella's heart raced. It was now or never. "Because I am your mother, Sophia. I am the person who lost you." The confession hung in the air, heavy and fragile. Sophia took a step back, as if struck by lightning. "No, that can't be true. You are a stranger." Her voice trembled between disbelief and pain. Isabella felt shattered. "I know this is hard to believe, but I've searched for you every day. I've never stopped loving you." The silence between them was deafening. Sophia looked at the necklace, and her eyes shimmered with unshed tears. Isabella stepped forward, extending the necklace. "Please let me explain. I want you to know that I care. I have always cared." Sophia hesitated, but the shine of the necklace drew her in, like a magnet. Finally she took it, her fingers slowly wrapping around the pendant. "If you really are my mother, then why weren't you there when I needed you?" Isabella felt each word from her daughter as a blow. "I didn't know where you were. I had no choice." Tears finally streamed down Isabella's face, and her vulnerability became evident. Sophia watched her, her heart divided. Part of her wanted to believe, but the pain of absence was an open wound. "Why should I trust you now?" "Because I'm here now," Isabella replied, her voice firm yet gentle, "and I want to rebuild what we lost. I want to know you." With an intense gaze, Sophia assessed the woman who claimed to be her mother. There, in that small diner among plates and cups, lay an opportunity to rewrite their stories. But the path would be long and full of challenges. What they didn't know was that the reunion was just the beginning of a journey that would change their lives forever. Isabella watched Sophia from afar, the soft light of the restaurant where her daughter worked reflecting in the young woman's brown hair. It was a simple place but full of life, and the contagious energy radiating from Sophia made Isabella feel strange, as if she were living in a dream. The necklace that had brought her there, a gift from her mother, now symbolized much more than just an object. It was the bridge between her past marked by pain and the present filled with promises. Weeks went by and the visits became routine. Each meeting brought forth new stories and laughter, but a cloud of secrets hung over them. Sophia spoke enthusiastically about her plans, her aspirations to become an artist, but there was always a glimmer of uncertainty in her eyes, as if a part of her didn't belong to that world. Isabella felt that with each conversation, the walls she had built around her heart were starting to crumble. Guilt consumed her, and she knew she needed to tell the truth. One night, after a tiring day, Sophia sat at Isabella's table, breathing a bit heavily. "You won't believe it, Mom, but I got a show for my paintings. It's an amazing opportunity." Her daughter's joy was contagious, but Isabella felt a pang of anguish forming in her chest. It was the perfect moment to reveal everything, but hesitation paralyzed her. That same night, an unexpected storm formed. The sky darkened, and the winds began to blow fiercely. Isabella decided to go to the restaurant to see Sophia, but upon arriving, the scene she found made her freeze. The establishment was in chaos. A group of people was running outside, screaming. A fire had started in the kitchen, and the flames danced like voracious demons. Isabella shouted Sophia's name, but the noise enveloped her. Heart racing, she dashed into the restaurant. The heat was intense, and the smoke made visibility nearly impossible. Isabella spotted a familiar figure, and her heart raced. It was Sophia, trying to help a waitress remove a table from a corner, but the smoke was already starting to engulf the space. Without thinking, Isabella ran over and pulled her, shouting, "We need to leave, now!" The two moved quickly, the heavy air making it hard to breathe. Sophia looked at her mother, her eyes filled with fear and confusion. When they finally managed to make it through the door and reach the street, the relief was temporary. The fire truck sirens echoed in the distance, but Sophia didn't seem to care. She looked at Isabella with an intensity that made her feel a chill in her stomach. "Mum, what's happening? You didn't care about me before. Why now?" Isabella felt the words trapped in her throat, but the urgency of the situation seemed to force her to open her eyes. With her heart still racing, she decided she could no longer postpone. "Sophia, I need to tell you something, or I am your mother." The words came out like a whisper, but in the chaos they seemed to resonate like a scream. Sophia stood frozen, the expression of disbelief slowly morphing into a mix of anger and pain. "You're lying. How can you say that now, after all these years?" Isabella watched as tears began to slide down her daughter's face. "I didn't know where you were. I didn't know if you were still alive. It was a mistake I made. And I am so sorry, Sophia." The flames behind them were controlled, but the emotional fire between mother and daughter was just beginning. The world around seemed to fade away, and for a moment, all that remained was the truth Isabella had kept for so long. They stood on the brink of an emotional precipice, and each had to decide whether to take a step forward to connect or pull away once again from the bond that had finally been reborn. The firefighters began to clear the area, but Isabella and Sophia remained there, their gazes locked on one another as if the universe had stopped. "I don't know if I can forgive you right now," Sophia murmured, but there was a fragility in her voice that spoke of hope. Isabella took a step forward, opening her arms. I don't expect you to forgive me. I just want you to know that I am here and I always will be if you let me into your life. The sky was beginning to lighten and the storm was finally dissipating. Sophia hesitated, but in an almost involuntary movement, she approached her mother. The necklace still shimmered around her neck, a symbol that even amid chaos, love could rise from the ashes. Their journey was just beginning, and despite the fear and pain, there was a light that promised to guide them from darkness to a new beginning. The morning sun filtered through the windows of the diner, where Sophia served coffee and croissants, masking the storm of emotions brewing inside her. The necklace her mother, Isabella, had left her as an inheritance was not just a piece of jewelry. It was a link to a past that Sophia had always longed for, but which had now become a symbol of betrayal. The shine of those precious stones seemed to mock her reality, reminding her of a life she never had. Isabella, on the other hand, watched from a distance, unsure how to approach her daughter. The revelation that Sophia was working as a waitress hit her like a punch to the stomach. But the idea of reconnecting felt like an insurmountable mountain. She didn't want Sophia to see her only as the billionaire woman who abandoned her daughter, but as the mother who, despite her mistakes, wished to redeem herself. That afternoon, Isabella decided it was time to act. With a surge of courage, she walked into the diner. The aroma of fresh coffee and the clinking of cutlery surrounded her, but none of it calmed her. When Sophia's eyes met hers, a heavy silence hung between them. Sophia, with a hardened expression, made no effort to conceal her frustration. "Why are you here?" Sophia asked, her voice laced with distrust. "Did you come to offer me money or perhaps more jewelry?" Isabella felt the sting. She knew that was not her intention, but she couldn't deny that her fortune allowed her to help in other ways. "Sophia, I'm not here for that. I want to apologize. I want to help you, but not in the way you think." "And how do you think you can help me? With your dirty money? You only think about fixing everything with material things," Sophia retorted, indignation seeping from every word. "You know nothing about the life I've led." Isabella swallowed hard as the pain of rejection pierced her. "I know I made mistakes, but I'm trying to change. I want to use my fortune to help the diner and the community. Maybe then you'll see that I'm here for you, not for the money." Sophia hesitated. The idea of her mother investing in the diner felt like a strange, almost surreal proposition. "And you think that will fix everything? Do you think I'll just forget that you abandoned me?" "No, I don't expect you to forget. But I can show you that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to regain your trust. Please give me a chance," Isabella pleaded, sincerity in her eyes. Silence settled between them again, heavier than before. Sophia felt torn, anger and pain, battling against curiosity and a hidden desire to reconnect. "What if I say I don't want this? What if I say I don't want you in my life?" "I will respect your decision, but I can't just stand by. I want to help even if you don't want me to." "I love you, Sophia. I always have, even from a distance," Isabella replied, emotion in her voice making her vulnerable. Those words cut like a knife. Sophia didn't know what to feel anymore. The aversion she held toward Isabella mixed with a desperate need for connection. Deep down, she had always wanted to believe that her mother still cared. If you want to help, start by doing something that really matters. "It's not about money, and you know that," Sophia said, her voice now a whisper. "Show that you want to be a part of my life, but do it the right way." Isabella nodded, relieved that there was finally a way forward. "Then tell me what I can do. I'll be here ready to listen." Thus a new chapter began for both of them, filled with challenges and promises. Isabella committed to working alongside Sophia at the diner, learning about the simple life her daughter led. And Sophia, in turn, allowed herself a little space for hope. Step by step, they began rebuilding the bridge that could lead them to a future where love and understanding could finally prevail. Isabella observed the shine of the necklace around her neck, a gift from her grandmother that she had always seen as just a piece of jewelry. But now that accessory held a much deeper meaning. Discovering that her lost daughter Sophia worked as a waitress in a small cafe in town, Isabella felt a mix of joy and pain. It was as if the necklace had been an invisible link connecting her to Sophia, even unknowingly. Determined to reach out to her daughter, Isabella proposed a community project that united their passions. The idea was simple: to create a space offering, cooking and art workshops for children in underprivileged communities. Sophia, hesitant at first, accepted the invitation, intrigued by the possibility of working alongside the mother she had never known. In the early days, their relationship was tense. Isabella, used to a life of luxury and power, tried to impose her ideas, while Sophia, with her more relaxed and practical approach, questioned her mother's ways. Arguments were frequent, but also revealing. Isabella began to realize that her worldview was limited and that the small joys in life, which she had overlooked for so long, were the ones that truly mattered. As the project progressed, they both started to get to know each other better. Sophia brought to the group the idea of including her grandmother's traditional recipes, something Isabella had never considered. With each class, Sophia lit up as she taught the children how to make a carrot cake, while Isabella watched, amazed. It was as if the magic of the kitchen was piecing back together the broken fragments of their relationship. On one of those days, while organizing a workshop, a child asked Sophia why she worked as a waitress if her mother was a billionaire. The silence that followed was heavy. Isabella felt Sophia's gaze on her, waiting for a response. But before she could speak up, Sophia said, "Because I love making people smile with the food I prepare, and besides, I'm learning to do something that matters." Those words touched Isabella. She realized that a person's worth is not in the money they have, but in the passion and love they put into their actions. Sophia was finding her purpose, and that was something Isabella had always wanted, but never had the courage to pursue. As the weeks went by, the bond between mother and daughter deepened. Isabella began to understand that behind the facade of success was a woman who felt alone and incomplete. Sophia, in turn, learned to set aside the resentment and pain she carried, understanding that despite the circumstances